Hi guys, this is Spook, and today I'm going to be going over some building tips and tricks in Rust. Okay, I'll get straight into it. We'll start with foundations. Now, the one on the left is good to use, and the one on the right is good to use, but this one, you do not want foundations this size. Now, the reason for that is because of decay. Some people forget about decay, and you run past bases and the foundations are down to 250 or 200 health. And all it would take is one C4 to take the foundation out, then you'd be able to crouch, go under it, pop up, and essentially enter possibly a good section of their base with one C4. Or you could just finish it off with pickaxes if it's low enough, and it's just an easy way to get into your base. Now with this one, it's obviously too short to crouch under, unless you're like a midget. And this one is too high. Now you could blow it up, but if you run in there, you will not be able to jump up because of the height of the foundation. Okay, and now I'll get on to windows. You do not want to place them on the bottom floor, and that is simply because people can see in. They can see where your loot is, they can see how your base is laid out, which could make for easier raiding. There's actually been several occasions where I've looked through a window on the first floor and seen people sleeping. There's someone actually being raided. As I record this, I can hear C4 going off. So ideally, do not place them on the bottom floor. If you do, make sure they're armoured at least. They have 500 health points, which will be quite difficult to take down. And you can also put a window shutter over them for a little extra piece of security. Okay, now I'll move on to doors. Ideally you never really want to have a wooden door because it can be destroyed quite easily with either a hatchet or a pickaxe, salvaged hammer if that's your thing. Ideally you want to be going for the sheet metal doors. They're pretty cheap to make. They're a lot more, well, they're a lot tougher than wooden doors. They are affected by tools, but they break the tools a lot quicker, and it will take a long time to hit this door down with an axe or a pickaxe. Now it only costs one C4 to blow through this, which would be the same as a wooden door, but the material difference between say 7 axes and a piece of C4 is a big difference. So go for the sheet metal, or if you can afford it, go for the armoured doors. You'll all know what this is, and if you don't, it's a tool cupboard. Now, it's pretty simple. You put it down, you authorize yourself, and so above your health it'll say building privilege. Now that means that you can build within a certain radius of where this tool cupboard is placed. Now that means when people are raiding, they'll come up to your base and it will say building denied, I think, building blocked. Now that means they cannot build, which is good. That's what you want. You don't want them building stairs outside your house to get up. Now you want to protect this at all costs. Do not put it on an exterior wall. So if I was to blow through this wall, it would not be on the other side. Someone just got blown up. You want to put this ideally in the middle of your first or second floor and just armour the walls, armour the foundation and armour the roof. Hide it. Protect it. Just take care of it really. Treat it as like a pet. Just don't let it die. Okay, now I'm going to talk about airlocks. Again, the majority of you know what this is. Now if you don't, I'm just going to explain to you quite efficiently what it is. Okay, so an airlock is, raider comes up to your door, he plonks some explosives down on it, he stands around and waits for them to go off. Eventually when it goes off, here we go, and he's like, sweet, I'm in your base, I'm going to get all your stuff. There's another door. Now that was one piece of C4 wasted. There's nothing in this room. You want to have as many of these as possible. And he's like, damn it, I've got to waste some more C4, and who knows what could be on the other side. It could be another airlock, or it could be something else. Maybe a room with a crafting table in it. Now these rooms are just distractions. They're just to annoy the raiders, make them waste the C4. And it makes them pretty vulnerable actually while they're placing the C4 and waiting, because they can't be in this airlock because they'll get blown up. So they'll force them outside, which leaves you to look through windows and pick them off. And that is what an airlock is. Okay, moving on to traps. So, I mean, I'm being the raider in this situation. I've just seen a nice house I want to raid. Now, personally, I would do either one of two things. I would go up against the rock, which would still leave me exposed to everywhere else, but not the house I'd be raiding, or I'd go for the bushes, which it hides you pretty well. Now I'd be moving up in here, bear trap. In the bush, very hard to see, and quite a few people in the heat of the moment will not be looking for traps in bushes. Same again with this one. There's a nice bush here, and the landmine there, which would kill you. Now you want to be using traps as much as you can. If you're playing with other people, make them aware of where they are, and just tell them not to go in any bushes. Now that's the only two traps you can really use. There is a sentry turret. That's not really a trap, that's more of a defensive thing. Now if you can get hold of one, put it on like a ground floor. If you put it on an upper floor, it won't work effectively. Okay, now we'll move on to loot distribution. Okay, say I'm a raider. I've just blown into your house, and I'm just taking down this last wall now. Don't really want to put C4 down, so I don't want to alert people. Because I think there's some people raiding nearby, and they find your loot chest, which has your C4 guns and good stuff in it. Now you don't want to pile all of your good stuff into one chest. Distribute it around your base. Seal it off in separate rooms, so maybe one room for ammo, one room for guns, one room for C4, one room for pickaxes, I don't know. Whatever you want to hide, do not bunch it all up together. Because if they get into that room, it's all gone. But if you split it up, chances are they won't have enough C4 to explore every corner of your base, so you can still come out with something and not get totally rinsed. Okay, the end of this video, I will now concentrate on where to build, where not to build. And so I'll start with spawning. Now when you spawn, you're going to be at a coastline. Do not build anywhere near where you spawn, because that's where everyone else will spawn too. Now I've just spawned and already I can see for some reason someone's placed a furnace over there. I believe there's a house just around that corner. Now if I run uphill, I'll just run up here. No, I don't know, but we're pretty much bound to see some houses. Now building so close to a spawn spot, it's pretty much... Here we go. There's one house there. There's a barrel over there. There's signs of activity over there. There's a few water catchers and stuff. Okay, so here we have a base. Again, so close to the spawn spot. Now this looks pretty difficult to raid, to be honest. And again, over there we have another house. Actually, I think that's more than a house. Looks like some sort of compound. So yeah, just avoid building so close to a spawn spot because you will get harassed by nakeds and other people. Okay, let's talk terrain. Actually, we'll go over the biomes first. Now I've realised that if you build in snow, you've got a much higher chance of surviving. People don't like building in snow because it's boring, it's white, it's bland. People prefer green, so the grasslands, and some people prefer the desert, which there's not really much of anymore. So if you want to have the most chance of surviving, go build in the snow on a rock somewhere. Now let's talk about location. Now as you can see, this guy down here has built in quite an open green area. Now that's good because you have good line of sight around your base. There are quite a few rocks around here that people would hide behind, but all in all it's quite a good position. Now if you used to build your house here, that would be a silly thing to do because there's rocks people can climb up, jump on your roof, get in through different directions into your house. Now building up there, there's like a little flat area just over there. That would be a good place, because it's unlikely that people would come from behind you because of the mountains, and the people that are coming would have to run uphill, meaning they would run slower, meaning you'd have a better chance of hitting them with guns because aiming would be easier. But still, there's rocks around, so people would be hiding behind them too. Now there is no such thing as the perfect place to build. It just does not exist. But there is better places to build. As you can see, someone's put a quarry up on that mountain up there. That's a good place to build, because you can't run up every mountain, and who knows, you might not be able to run up there. There may be just two directions you can come from, and if they block one off, they just have to concentrate on the other one. Building on rocks is doable, but ever since ladders were introduced, it kind of died off. Big is not always better. If you build up, you have a better chance of being spotted from further away. People see big bases as well and think, heaps of loot, let's just raid this one. If you see a cave, get into it and build. They are probably the most secure bases you'll find, especially with a decent amount of airlocks towards the front of the base. I've seen some real good designs. Nothing is unraidable. Don't think you're ever safe from anyone, because even that compound over there we saw earlier, that could still be raided. Actually, we'll just have a quick look at that now before I end the video. Oh, it's not so much a compound. But yeah, let's take a base like this. Actually, it has been raided. There's a wall missing here, and there's likely to be a wall missing somewhere else, unless they didn't go in. There's a piece of roof missing. I think that's purpose built. Okay, so this guy's got two sets of walls and a stone base. You know, you'd think you'd be safe, but you're not. Building like this as well, it attracts people. Now if you was to say go and build on that ledge that I saw earlier, where am I? I'm just there. I think it was... See, if you was to build like here, you know, people would not be able to see your base from down here. They would see the snowy mountain and think, no, I don't want to go up there, because why would you? You could even build a little house here, 4x4 or something, and you'd be quite well off there. So before you build, run around for a while and find a good spot. Okay, I'll end it there. I hope this can help a few of you start off in Rust, or maybe even get better. I'm not saying you're bad, it's just people know things that other people don't. And in this game, people aren't really willing to share that much. And just use common sense. Don't make an easy code lock, like 1, 2, 3, 4. Mix it up. Make code locks different codes. Once you enter them, you don't need to enter them again, so you don't really have to remember them. Try and make friends in the game. You don't want to be hated, because you will get ganged up on and you will be a target. Saying that though, don't trust everyone, because you will get backstabbed 99% of the time. But try and make allies and help them out when you can, because they will repay the favour. There are some good guys playing this game too. And above all else, just have fun. Okay, I'll leave it there. You know what to do if you like the video. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Craft as many as you can, and then cancel the crafting queue. It's as simple as that. It gives you 12,000 back in one stack.